Hello, hello, and welcome to another edition of Designer Reacts. And today, the most prestigious architectural award was announced, and the first African architect ever was chosen winner. Let's take a look. His name is Diébédo Francis Kéré, and the absolute first African Pritzker Prize winner ever. And let's take a look at the work. Wow, so just off the bat, it has an incredible amount of color. This looks like a pavilion. Oh yeah, it is, and it just pops. It attracts the eye, and people definitely would love to take pictures there and just be around such a color. Oh wow! So this roof here is just outstanding. I mean, it's it appears to be hanging off of this middle structure here because there's absolutely no support out here, and it goes up and it appears the walls and the roof are absolutely on separated systems, which is absolutely outstanding, and really the idea of a free plan to be able to open up all the walls to really have whatever curve possible. So let's move on because the color and the use of materials is amazing. Wow, so this the school. Oh, and again, there's this main roof, but then this other secondary roof that is held up by these very, very skinny but strong steel members, and then these very strategic use of color, very basic colors here, where here it's all crazy. But here it's a very simple, I think it's a school because all the kids that would just make sense. If possible, architects take pictures of the finished building with people in it and show renderings with people because people occupy the building. Wow, wow, wow. So a very classic barrel vault, but again, a second projected roof with this very skinny frame. I'm sure that helps with all kinds of environmental issues. And then on the front here, there's this amazing brick brisole with concrete infill, and then there appears to be this main structure, but I mean, all this heavy concrete's definitely doing all the work. Wow, wow. What even is this space? It's a shoe store. This is just outstanding. All of the piers on the ground, and all of the identical bread boxes up here, and this is just incredible. And then the roof appears to be something absolutely different. I mean, how many times does everybody walk in a space and it just is a flat roof? Wow, wow. So just a pretty efficient and unique use of materials because this could all be just one material, but here it has a very clever infill and it just creates a lot more texture and feel rather than it just being a wall for walls. Also, it's angled, so that would lead one that way. Wow, wow. Again, just incredibly efficient use of the raw materials that are around. I mean, I bet everything in these buildings was made from pretty local materials. I mean, I bet the steel might have been the hardest, but maybe not. But still, they're able to really maximize the space and have it free of columns, but still have a very porous and uh, wall. This looks like an exhibition almost inside of a very classical courtyard. And here he's just kind of he's tamed it down some, but still showing off with this very simple ability to make these materials beautiful. Just outstanding. Wow. So this very, very, very heavy brick here, and then this roof that looks so light. I mean, these look like absolutely tiny, tiny, tiny strings. And again, this guy is the master of roofs. Like he's able just to do whatever he wants and can really make it structurally amazing and cheap because these pieces are not that expensive. They just aren't. I mean, look at this. This is just incredible and it's all very simple. Well, I mean, it's complex, but it, it's this whole notion of thinking beyond just the first step. This is a composition. This is a true complexity and and a true spark of in in genius and this because the roof is one of the most expensive parts of the whole building and this looks like it's incredibly lightweight, easy to build, and cheap because also it's repeated. So you once you figure out how to build one, you can pretty much build the whole thing. And here, there's almost like a different approach of it being a passing, but there's still this very formal approach. And this is like the startup lines campus, but again, in other school spaces, seems. But oh, wow, here just this roof on the inside. Is this the inside of this? But wow. But here is able to have these very square and rectangular boxes, but then have this very flowy ceiling. He's able to have these very square boxes, but then these very flow ceiling that he's able to just have this play. And I'm sure it actually also, as one can see, it provides more shade than if it was just a basic roof with like a 2 foot overhang. Wow, what is this? Another pavilion? Yeah, this guy's amazing. Like, definitely, absolutely outstanding work. Like, he knows his stuff, and it looks like a lot of it's school work. So let's read about it. The 2022 laureate of architect's highest honor, the Pritzker Architecture Prize, is Diébédo Francis Kéré, known as Francis Kéré. Burkina Faso-born architect, educator, social activist, and receiver of the 2004 Aga Khan Award for Architecture and the designer of the 2017 Serpentine Pavilion, which is a very, very famous contest. And recognized for empowering and transforming communities through the process of architecture. Kéré, the first black architect to ever obtain the award, works mostly in areas charged with constraints and adversity. Choosing Kéré, the first black architect to ever obtain this award, works mostly in areas charged with constraints and adversity. Using local materials, see, I thought so, and building contemporary facilities whose value exceeds the structure itself, serving and stabilizing the future of the entire communities. That's the whole point of architecture. It's so the value of the actual facility itself exceeds the value of the structure. The structure's nothing. You'll pay it off in no time, and then it'll be there until it falls down, which hopefully isn't in a while. But this is the entire point. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Through buildings that demonstrate beauty, modesty, boldness, and invention, and by the integrity of his architecture, and by the Through buildings that demonstrate beauty, modesty, boldness, and invention, and by the integrity of his architecture and geste, Kéré gracefully upholds the mission of this prize, explains the official statement of the Pritzker Architecture Prize, announced today by Tom Pritzker, chairman of the Hyatt Foundation. Francis Kéré is the 51st winner of this award, founded in 1979. Praised for the gifts he has created through his work. Praised for the gifts he has created through his work, gifts that go beyond the realm of the architectural discipline. Wow. Here's a quote by him. I am hoping to change the paradigm, punish people to dream and undergo risk. It is not because you are rich that you should waste material. It is not because you are poor that you should try to create quality. Everyone deserves quality. Everyone deserves luxury. Everyone deserves comfort. We are interlinked, and concerns in climate, democracy, and scarcity are concerns for all of us. Francis Kéré, 2022 Pritzker Architecture Prize winner. This guy's a beast. My goodness. So, born in Kondo, Burkina Faso in 1965 and based in Germany, Francis Kéré works towards improving the lives and experience of countless citizens in a region of the world that is at times forgotten, as Pritzker explains. The oldest son of the village chief and the first in his community to attend school, the architect's first sense of architecture. The architect's first sense of architecture stemmed from his childhood classroom that lacked ventilation and light. On one hand, and from the little illuminated yet safe place where his grandmother would sit and tell stories on another. In 1985, he traveled to Berlin on a vocational carpentry scholarship, learning to make roofs and furniture by day while attending secondary classes at night. Wow, this guy's amazing. He was awarded a scholarship to attend the uh, Technische Universität Berlin in 95 and graduating in 04 with an advanced degree in architecture. We have to fight to create quality that we need to improve people's lives. Francis Kéré. Younger, Kéré had vowed to one day make schools better in extreme climates, allowing for true teaching, learning, and excitement. And in 1998, he established the Kéré Foundation to fundraise and advocate for a child's right to a comfortable classroom. This is amazing. His first building, Gando Primary School in '01. Oh, this was his first building? This is amazing. This is a primary school. Just beautiful. Simple, beautiful, amazing. That's not what we need. First building, Gando Primary School in '01, was built by and for the locals who crafted every part of the establishment by hand. Guided by the architect's inventive form of indigenous materials and modern engineering. This project awarded him the Aga Khan Award for Architecture in 2004 and led to the inception of his own practice, Kéré Architecture, in Berlin in '05. Following the success, other primary, secondary, post-secondary, and medical facilities followed throughout Burkina Faso, Kenya, Mozambique, and Uganda. Wow. Here is another quote by the 2022's most prestigious Architecture Prize award winner, Francis Kéré. I grew up in a community where there was no kindergarten, but where the community was your family. Everyone took care of you, and the entire village was your playground. My days were filled with securing food and water, but also simply being together, talking together, building houses together. I remember the room where my grandfather would sit and tell stories with a little light, while we would huddle close to each other and hear her voice inside the room enclosed us, summoning us to come closer and form a safe place. This was my first sense of architecture. Francis Kéré, the 2022 Pritzker Architecture Prize winner. This guy is legit. A poetic expression of light is consistent throughout Kéré's works. Rays of sun filter into buildings, courtyards, and intermediary spaces, overcoming harsh midday conditions to offer places of serenity and gathering, adds the official statement of the Pritzker Architecture Prize. Other than schools and medical facilities, Kira's work in Africa includes in progress two historic parliament buildings, as well as an information and communication technologies campus. That's outstanding. Oh, this is his Serpentine Pavilion. How did I not catch that? This is outstanding. He's like, I'm gonna put a roof on it. He's like, I'm gonna put a roof on the Serpentine Pavilion. Because I don't know if y'all know, but this thing is outstanding. There's so many different. I mean, this is probably the most famous one by Big, where it's just one box repeated over and over. And here's Francis. Here is, which is just ridiculous. But there's just so many different Serpentine pavilions that it's an achievement to win it. I mean, this is so it's really all about pushing architecture forward. So yeah, he is ridiculously. He's so good. He's so good. This guy's amazing. With an architectural expression deeply rooted in his upbringing and experiences in Gondo, Keurig communicated to the world West African tradition, especially the practice of communing under a sacred tree to exchange ideas, narrate stories, celebrate, and assemble. That's the point of the roof. That makes sense. In fact, for the 2017 Serpentine Pavilion, which is this right here, the architect imagined a structure that would take its shape from a tree, with a detached roof and disconnected yet curved walls formed by triangular indigo modules. The color representing strength in his culture, and more personally, the blue balbo garment worn by the architect as a child. Inside the pavilion, rainwater is funneled to the center, highlighting water scarcity that is experienced worldwide. Beyond creating for the African continent, his built works also include structures in Denmark, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and the UK, and the United States. He's all over the place. This guy, I mean, it's about time he won. I mean, it seems that when architects win the Pritzker Prize, it's not like, I mean, his career would definitely improve, but it's almost like a lifetime achievement award because you have to build so much. I mean, he's already built in all these places, so he's already built there, so he can really build anywhere he wants now. So this is just like a marketing bump and a bump, not even. I mean, it could send him off, who knows? But he is just ridiculously good. A visiting professor at the Harvard University Graduate School of Design, Kira holds the inaugural chair of architectural design and participation professorship at Technische Universität in Munich. I mean, this guy, I mean, he's an honorary fellow of the Royal Architectural Institute of Canada and the American Institute of Architects, and is a chartered member of the Royal Institute of British. I mean, this guy. I mean, he has all of these awards. It's about time he won. It's about time he got some freaking recognition. Wow. So it'll be held in London. Jury citation. I'll probably do that at another time. But shouts out to Francis. Outstanding. You killed it, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done, especially all the schoolwork. Let's see who's up in 2023.